Well, 2025 looks set to be a pivotal year for Australia's space industry. From a historic rocket launch to emerging technologies and hosting the world's largest space event, the sector is taking off.
In remote far north Queensland, a commanding site, a 25-metre rocket is on standby, ready to launch Australia into a new era of spaceflight. Named Eris and built by Gold Coast-based Gilmore Space Technologies, it will be the first Australian-made rocket to attempt orbital space launch, though the company is managing expectations.
It's a historic event. You know, I hope people don't expect that we get to space on the first one. We have enough money to do at least a couple more launches. This is just a really good step forward to get into orbit. And when we get into orbit, we are going to have a big party.
In November, Gilmore Space was given the green light to launch the rocket from Bowen, a coastal town in Queensland's Whitsunday region. The first test flight is set to take place at the end of January, paving the way for the long-term goal of being able to launch satellites.
There's so many countries that just can't even domestically launch their satellites into space. So, you know, we're looking like a really good opportunity for a lot of our friendly neighbours to launch their satellites as well as our own.
And as the world becomes increasingly reliant on satellites, another Australian company has unveiled new technology to respond to potential threats.
As satellites fail, it's creating debris. There's security threats, and they're increasing at an alarming rate.
Enter the Optimus Viper, a spacecraft that uses AI to identify a potential malfunction or suspicious activity around critical space infrastructure. The company's CEO describes it as an emergency response unit, but for satellites.
We depend on space services in everyday life for our GPS, for our apps, for weather, for climate. We want to make sure that those things are protected. And to protect that, we've got to create a rapidly responsive solution where if something goes wrong in space, we can very quickly react to it in a cost-effective, distributed manner within 24 hours.
The spacecraft is designed to get within 10 kilometres of satellites 24 hours after dispatch,
which in space terms is actually quite close,
providing real-time monitoring and data that is relayed back to Earth. For example, if a satellite of a major telco is down, Optimus Viper, it's hoped, can investigate the problem. The technology and other local advancements will be showcased to the world in September, when around 10,000 delegates gather in Sydney for the largest annual space conference.
In the last years, we've seen a rapid evolution of technologies such as using lasers to communicate. We've developed technologies on remote medicine. We've got space companies revolutionising how we find critical minerals on Earth, supporting the green energy transition.
Australia is also set to build the nation's first lunar rover that will go to the moon with NASA later this decade, an industry ready to explore its potential. Abby O'Brien, SBS World News.